Hi guys, Spencer with $3 here. Welcome to today's episode. It's going to be the Healer and Mass Witch War Raid. And our guest attacker is of course going to be Glider. He's been doing a lot of these Healer Witch raids recently, and he's been getting 3 stars on the Town Hall 10s. So you are going to need 1 Golem, about 12 Witches, around about 5 Wizards, 5 Healers, and a whole bunch of Wall Breakers. Now you are going to mix this up a little bit, depending on what the base is like, and you may mix up the spells a little bit as well. Sometimes you'll use Quake instead of the jump spells. You will see in the next 3 raids that we're about to see how you can mix that around to play with the different bases. Now normally I show you guys what kind of elixir this costs to do these raids, but it really doesn't matter with this raid because it costs so much Dark Elixir. 5,000, that's probably behind me, 4,200 for your witches, 750 for your golem. It's extortionate. Most people are not going to want to do this raid unless they are really die-hard war people and they really want a 3-star base, like this one for example. So this is a base from Jerry Sim from Singapore Clan. Now you'll notice on each of these raids Glider will send in his queen and his king at 2 different locations and go into the base in 2 places. The target here being trying to get the splash damage down as soon as possible. Of course the witches, they're generating lots of Larrys, but if those Larrys get wiped out by splash, suddenly there is nothing defending the witches, nothing defending your king, and you are probably going to lose. Now it is very easy to have an epic fail trying to do a witch raid. I did an epic fail earlier today, and if, for example, I saw one the other day, somebody hit a big bomb, lost all of their witches. You don't want that to happen at all. Another thing I noticed when Glider does this raid, something I didn't used to do, I used to go from the multi-inferno side thinking, well, let's get rid of that first. Glider always goes from the single side, so I will defer to his better judgment. If you guys are going to do this raid, come from the single side first. Seems to work for him. So we've got a queen on the top left there. She's fully healed. She is not suffering any damage at all. Now the king, he's racing around this base. He's a level 40 king. I don't have a level 40, so this can be a bit more difficult if you don't have max royals. He's got all the way to 1 mortar. He's going to make it all the way to this wizard tower and finally to the last mortar there and stop that blasting all of his witches. Now one thing I did notice, if you don't have a few wizards tucked in there with your crowd of witches, it takes them forever to destroy buildings, including the multi-inferno, so you do need to make sure that you've got some wizards in amongst them, give them that little bit of extra firepower to make sure that you get those multi-infernos down quickly so they don't frazzle all of your witches. So here comes the queen now. Now at this moment in time we've lost so many witches that this raid probably wouldn't have been a successful 3-star if it wasn't for the inclusion of healers. This queen is going to stay on full health. She's still got her special ability and there is nothing to stop this now being a 3-star. Regardless of what happens to these witches, it's going to be an easy win. There we go, we're 96%. Queen's going to be going home fully healed, and we've got, what, 5 witches left. That's a great raid, and that's the kind of base you want to be looking for. Nice wide open base, go in from 2 points, find out how you're going to get to those mortars and get those infernos down. Here we go again, so it's healer again this time. This time we're going to use the earthquake. Now this base is even more open than that last one. You'll notice all of the splash damage is right down at the bottom of this base. You need to get inside this base and get rid of that splash as quickly as possible, and you will be then free to run riot through this base with your witches. So here comes the queen now. She's got her 5 healers. She's going to be able to take quite a beating, and wall breakers in at the other side. So here's going to be where the golem and the king is going to come in. They are going to try and get rid of this other wizard tower just here. Here come the witches already, so because that golem's in front, we don't yet have to worry about any of the splash targeting these witches, as long as this golem stays alive. And on this occasion, you'll notice he's coming from the multi-inferno side. Reason being, he didn't want his golem to be fried by the single inferno, needs that golem to stay alive until this splash damage is down. So on this occasion, we need to attack from the multi-side. Multi-inferno is still up. We've got a hound, which is going to explode, but luckily these witches can keep those lava pups distracted for quite a long time. You'll notice it's critical that this wizards are in amongst these Larrys. There they go, because they've taken down the multi-inferno. The witches alone wouldn't have done that quite so quickly, and this raid could have been a fail. But you can see on the bottom left, the queen, she's still fully healed, a level 40 queen. She's got the final splash down, and this base is now in a little bit of trouble. The single inferno doesn't have a clue what to do, surrounded by Larrys, and look how far the king has got. He's got all the way around this base, and you'll notice Glider had saved himself a few hogs to get that 1 rogue mortar, which was at the top of that base, prevent it from firing at his witches, which are going to be kind of trapped inside this box once they get to the outside. But it really doesn't matter, because there's no more defences now outside of this box other than this archer tower, and this queen is going to be making her way up there, and we're going to see another dollar destruction, another 3-star raid with the mass witches. And I guess this was a fully maxed defences base. It's not easy to do this attack on an anti-3-star base, but on proper war bases, ones where people want to have fun in wars and make real bases, then you can give this a go. You'll either fail miserably, or you'll do this and you'll get a great 3-star, but it makes it a lot more fun. Here we go, look how much troops he's got left, fully healed. And the healers are starting to heal the witches. Now, I did a raid the other day. I noticed that witches can take full-on mortar power if they're being healed by healers. But I don't think that's a strategy you really need to employ. It could go very, very wrong. Final raid, this time with no healers. So I think the reason not to bring healers this time is you are going to encounter these infernos far too early. You may not be able to heal your queen if she gets too close, so you can spend those extra troop spaces, get 2 golems in instead, one with the king, one with the queen, keep her alive with a tanking unit rather than healers. Out comes the hound, we can get rid of that. Look at all these witches, they're on their way in. Now we've got to get to these mortars as quickly as we can. So hopefully the queen is going to take the one on the top, the king is going to take the one on the bottom, and he's going to wipe out the defensive king at the same time. And there is our wizards, look. Now we need some more wizards in amongst this crowd of witches to make sure that we get these defenses down. One wizard's going with them. They're going to get rid of this single inferno very, very easily. So that can't target the royals or the golems. That is going to be going down. Here we go. Here come some wizards. They're in amongst the crowd. They can now start taking these defensive buildings inside this box. Jump spells taking them over. Free spell just the right time. Try and keep these alive as long as possible. Build up as many Larrys as we can now on this town hall, so these Larrys swarm over to the multi-inferno. And look at that, they've completely distracted it. It's not going anywhere near these witches because there was such a swarm of Larrys built up behind. And because there's that little group of wizards inside there, look, they've taken down that multi-inferno. And this base is now in serious trouble. It's going to be another dollar destruction. Queen's on her way round. She's got that mortar just in time. It has managed to let one off, but it missed the witches. It went straight for the queen instead. What have we got? Big bombs, that's been activated by the Larrys. We've got one wizard tower, but that alone is not going to be able to stop this onslaught from this mass witch raid. Here they go. Can anything stop them? I guess not. No big bombs anywhere near that can wipe these out now. Queen's gone down. Really doesn't matter. We're on 89%. Wizard tower's on its way down. And there we go. Now that cannon may have killed 1 or 2 witches, but there are so many left here that this base has absolutely no chance. Now you will see this war base quite often. This is probably the harder one of the 3, I think, to 3-star with mass witches. All kinds of things can go wrong. And just remember, if the mortars and the wizard towers are laid out differently to this one in the video, then you will have to do your attack very differently. It really does matter how you get to those mortars and to make sure you get them down. Because once your witches are dead, this raid really is over. You've got no healers, you've got no backup, and you don't want to fail a war raid. You could end up doing like I did today and getting something terrible, which I won't bother showing you. It was a poor effort. Against 2 multi-infernos, granted. I didn't think it would be possible, but I did give it a go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. I'll be back tomorrow with an invincible P.E.K.K.A. Who doesn't want one of those? And we're also going to be taking a look at how Baby Dollars is getting on. But until then, you guys take care. Send everyone!